In this video I'm going to show you how to replace the heating element on your quick boiler. It's not a comprehensive video, but hopefully there's going to be some pointers in here that are going to help you. Make sure you have disconnected your 220 volt or 110 volt power supply before you start working on this. Today's job has been to replace the heating element on the boiler. As soon as we power it up, it trips the main switch, so clearly there's been a problem. What we're going to do is we're going to replace the heating element on this quick boiler. To do that, I'm going to have to disconnect the cold water and hot water supplies from it. And to enable this to happen, the first thing you're going to want to do is turn off your boat's water pump, so it isn't a pressurized system any longer. And then the next thing you're going to do is disconnect the cold water supply from the tank, and then plug that supply with the bung so water can't drain out, because typically the cold water tanks are higher than your hot water cylinder. So should you not have a bung ready, the minute you disconnect that, the water supply is going to just drain out of this cold water pipe over here. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the cold water supply to the tank and put the bung in it. Once you've turned off the high pressure water pump, make sure that you open at least 2 of your taps to get the pressure out of the system, because otherwise when you disconnect that cold water pipe, you're going to get a lot of water spraying out there initially until the pressure is released. All boats are different, but on my boat the silver pipe that you can see there is the one coming from the hot water cylinder, and then it connects to the cold water pipe. So the pipe is disconnected for the cold water supply, and there's a bung inside it. The next thing we're going to do now is we're going to drain the hot water cylinder by opening the valve located next to the yellow pipe. This pipework then goes down into my bilge and it'll be pumped out of the bilge into the seawater. To enable the cold water to actually drain out, you need to disconnect the hot water pipe as well to allow air into the tank, otherwise it's just not going to drain. There may be another way of doing this, but this is how I do it. So this has just been loosened slightly, and now you can hear the air rushing in through there, and that's allowing the tank to drain. When you think the water level is below the hot water exit point from the hot water cylinder, then you can totally disconnect this. Next we're going to remove the thermostat, and you just pull this away from the hot water cylinder. It's not screwed on, it just clips in. We've removed the old heating element, and as you can see the anode is totally corroded, and we've got a new one to install which is over here, so we're going to get onto that and do that now. And we've suspended the tank with a strap going out the window onto a deck cleat. This is so as to give it an angle to help the tank drain. You can see in this image that the whole anode is gone. In some cases you can just replace the anode and not the whole heating element. This is the new unit that I've got that I'm going to install now. So I'm disconnecting the coolant pipes over here. These are running from the engine to here, heating up the coolant and also heating up the hot water in this tank. So I've put a bucket below just to capture any coolant that may run out, but I've already drained as much of this as I can from the engine side. So luckily none drained out here. And once that's disconnected, I can take the whole hot water cylinder out of the room and flush it clean. You only need to do this if you intend to clean out the hot water cylinder. Otherwise, just replace the heating element with the tank in its original position. Once you have installed the heating element again, then connect your cold and hot water supply connections. Once this is done, open one of your taps and turn on the water pressure pump. Once the water starts flowing out of the tap, you can close the tap again and build up pressure within the system. Check for any leaks, and once that is done, turn on your power supply again. If you're draining down the coolant, refer to your engine owner's manual on how to do this. And then get the tank back into place. The sun's about to go down, so I've got to move quite quickly to get this done so everybody can have their first hot shower in a long time tonight.